Today I've got a chatty get ready with me video, I guess. I'm just going to put my makeup on for the day and talk to you about life and things. I'm going to make an effort to use products that you can get here and that are easily available. I know sometimes you guys get frustrated because we use so much stuff from overseas. But if I don't mention a product because I'm talking about something else, then just know that everything will be listed in the blog post that goes with this video. So check the link below for that. First off, I'm just going to start with priming. I wanted to actually just show you these quickly. These are two primers from Estee Lauder, the Illuminator and the Mattifier. I use them both for different things. I've already done my skincare and I've got SPF on my face, this one, out of interest, the Body Shop one that I use all the time. The Mattifier, I'm just going to put on my kind of hot spots where I get the most shiny, just to help to fill out my pores, keep everything nice and smooth and matte. It's nice and creamy, this primer, it's not silicone-y at all. And then the Illuminator, I just pop on my cheeks. And this is just to kind of start building that lit from within glow. It's a Saturday, I'm off to my nephew's second birthday party later, so this isn't going to be anything dramatic. I wanted to look quite natural and everyday. I'll be wearing a little bit more makeup than I normally do for the sake of the video, but it's still a pretty simple look. Okay, so what's been going on? Things have been a little bit slow on the blog. Sorry about that. Life is redonkulous, or work is redonkulous at the moment. Just really busy and struggling to find the time to do really good content, so sorry, not publishing as often as I should be, but we are trying. As I'm filming this, Camilla is in Paris on holiday with our friend Emma, and if you haven't been following along with her Instagram stories, she has had a little visit to Sephora, and she went to Colette and looked at the Glossier stuff and got me a couple of things for my birthday, although I don't know what they are yet. And she's definitely done some damage in the shops there. I also have another friend who is in the States at the moment, and I have sent her a list of Sephora gift sets to look at for me and see if she can find any of them. And I've asked her to bring one back for me if she finds anything good. Those Sephora gift sets are amazing because they are such a cost-effective way to try new products or to buy a really special gift for someone. And they have them in all different themes. You can get a whole bunch of mascaras together, or a whole bunch of hair texturizing sprays, or a whole bunch of Sephora favorites or whatever. It's really cool. So we'll see what comes back from her. That'll be pretty cool. Just doing a really thin layer of this foundation. This is the Max Factor Lasting Performance Foundation, shade Natural Bronze. I've got some kind of strange red chalk there. Just driving me a bit bonkers, but I shall cover it shortly. What else has been happening? I went for Dermapen again last week with Sally. By the way, I pay for all of my treatments. I pay full price for my treatment with Sally. I sometimes get a discount on skincare products that I buy from her, but not always. So whenever I do talk about Cape Aesthetics and my, my peels and stuff, just so you know, it's not sponsored, there's no deal there. I just really love the treatments, and I have seen really good results. Dermapen in particular is starting to pay off because it does have more of it's more of a long game treatment, so you only start to really see results after a few months. So I had it last week and I had a little bit of flaking, and I think it was my third or fourth time that I've done it, and I have peels in between. And so after the flaking had finished, which was probably about 4 or 5 days, my skin just suddenly got incredibly clear and even. Wow, it's still looking pretty good except for this one random chalk, which, I mean, it happens. It's just like, it's looking really good and really radiant, and I don't have my usual kind of uneven skin tone here, and it's just looking really good. So I'm very happy with that, even though you look like you've been set on fire afterwards. This is the LA Girl Pro Conceal, by the way. For some reason, this concealer and the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer blend really badly with a sponge over this foundation. So I have to go in with my fingers, which is just really time consuming. So what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of getting it going, doing the main bit of blending, and then I'll go in with my fingers. I don't get this with any other foundation, it's quite strange, but the foundation is so good that I will more than happily put up with it. So if I just left it like that, it really would, you can't really tell on camera, but it's really sitting on top of the skin. I'm just going to pat that in with my finger, which is a really good way to blend concealer in anyway, so. Okay, one of the exceptions to my products you can get in South Africa overall is my brow pencil. I bought 2 new brow pencils from NYX the other day, but I bought them in the wrong colour. I bought blonde instead of taupe, and blonde is actually a very warm colour, it's hideous. Taupe is properly cool, it's exactly the same shade as this, which is Love is Blonde from Soap and Glory. So sorry, but use that one instead. I really need to tint my brows again, but it is one of my least favourite beauty jobs to do. Tinting my brows and washing my makeup brushes, I could go the rest of my life without. So now it's obviously getting a little bit closer to Christmas, my favourite time of year. I am so excited. And I was wondering if you guys wanted to see gift guides or any other like Christmas related content. I've done a Christmas makeup tutorial in the past, and we've certainly done Christmas giveaways before and stuff like that. I'm imagining you probably would want to give away, but is there anything else that you guys would like us to do around Christmas? Anything you'd like to see? Maybe red lipsticks you can wear through Christmas dinner, or I don't know, something like that. Let us know, give us a little bit of inspiration. And if you do want gift guides, like what kind of price points would you like? Do you want a variety? Do you only want to see stuff that's, you know, remotely affordable? Leave a comment for me and we'll see what we can do. I'm also really glad that it's warming up, because Cape Town has been freezing until like a week ago. So I'm very happy to be wearing strappy tops and using all my cream products again. I much prefer using cream products on my face in summer. Something to do with, I think, it looking more natural on the skin. I don't like being able to like see my makeup in summer. In winter I don't mind, you know, more of a heavy hand doesn't look too bad, but you know, under the glare of the bright sun and in the heat, you know, too much makeup really can start to look quite kind of aging and also just too heavy. I spoke about this in my October favorites. This is the Maybelline Master Strobing Stick. I used this in a first impressions video earlier in the year, and I've used it so much. I absolutely love it. It's so good. It's very natural. So if you're even remotely scared of highlight, this is so subtle, you don't need to be worried about it. It doesn't have any glitter or sparkle in it. It literally is just a kind of creamy glow, and it's just so easy to pack on. You just dab it on with your fingertips. You can also swipe it on, but I'm always a little bit scared of that. This one doesn't tend to pick up the foundation underneath, but I'm kind of paranoid, so I just avoid that altogether. For blush, I'm going to use, this is Rocketeur from Benefit. This is a palette, this is the Cheekathon palette. I bought this in December in the States. But Rocketeur you can get on its own. In fact, all of the blushes in here you can get on their own in the normal box powder. So Dandelion, Hoola, Rocketeur, Dallas and Coralista. Oh, I did a blog post the other day about Nadine Baggett, who is a beauty journalist and editor in the UK. Now, I always knew who she was, but I didn't realise she had a YouTube channel. She's had it for about 1.5 years now, I think. And so I discovered it last weekend and I absolutely binged her channel. I watched almost every single video. Fascinating, really cool, interesting. If you're a little bit older especially, like, there's no shortage of beauty tips for people, you know, around the age of 20, but when you're pushing 35, things start to get a little bit different. And she's just really no nonsense, has really good practical tips, really knows her skincare, so really valuable. I love that. And that took me down the rabbit hole of listening to a podcast that she was in by someone called Emma Guns, and I'll leave a link to that below. But basically, Emma Gunn's whole podcast series is all about beauty and all different topics. So I've really been enjoying that podcast. And another one that someone recommended to me, I think it's called The Guilty Feminist. That's also really interesting. I also absolutely love true crime podcasts. I don't know about you guys, but like, to me, Serial is just the greatest podcast that's ever been made. And I've spent the last 2 years trying to track down something equally good. So I listen to a lot of them. I love Criminal. I love Sword and Scale. Case File. I'm listening to one at the moment called Accused, which is really good. Up and Vanished. There are tons. So if you know any good ones that I haven't mentioned, please let me know, because it's my favorite way to waste my time. I actually listen to podcasts most often when I'm in the car, like when I'm driving, or obviously, or when I'm running. I listen to podcasts. I don't really listen to music. This is the Wet n Wild eyeshadow primer, by the way. Oh, and speaking of favourites earlier, this is a nail polish I put in that favourites as well. It's OPI's Dutch Tulips, and it is a straight up dupe for SE Silken Cord, which is my favourite nail polish colour of all time. And I just dab the edge of this with my finger, because if I don't, sometimes you can get a kind of harsh edge to the primer, and then when you come to put the shadow on, you can really tell the difference where it's sitting on the skin and on the primer, and it looks terrible, and I made that mistake too many times. So just making sure that I kind of essentially blend the edge of the primer by just patting. It's nice and tacky now. Okay, so because I'm not using stuff that you have to get overseas, one thing I won't be using is this. This is the, I believe, limited edition, but I could be wrong, Charlotte Tilbury Instant Eye Palette. It looks like this. It's a little bit more plasticky than I thought it would be. I thought it would be metal, to be honest. It looks metal, but it ain't. And this is what it looks like inside. Very beauteous. It's divided up into 4 looks, mixture of cool and warm, but mostly cool, which is my preference. I've never owned any Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadows before. This is very exciting. This is actually my Christmas present from Camilla. We gave each other our presents early because we have no patience. I gave her the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Volume 3, which is the one in the kind of a rose gold case, the one that's out now essentially. We bought them in the UK and someone bought them back for us, just so you know. But what I will be using instead, and what is in fact quite similar in terms of tone, is the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette. But I am going to start in the crease with my favourite crease colour, which is this one. From Smashbox. It's this shade here, just a matte taupe. As you can see, I've completely decimated it. I love the matte row of this palette, and I really don't like the shimmer row. Strangely enough, I've seen Lisa Eldridge use this palette a couple of times on her channel, which I don't really understand, because it's like these shimmers are really dry and like not even remotely close to the quality of like the shimmers in, say, an Urban Decay palette. And I do wonder if maybe the palette has been reformulated, because I've had this for years and years. So if anyone else has it and the shimmers are decent, please let me know. I'd be very interested. I'm just using the brush that comes with the palette because it's actually really good. It's a great little crease brush. I've got quite heavily hooded eyes, and they get more hooded the older I get. So I do tend to blend my crease right onto the brow bone and almost up to the brow. Otherwise you literally don't see it. And then I'm just going to switch over to the flat side of the brush, and I'm going to take this bone colour, also the only other colour that I've hit pan on in this palette, just onto the brow for just a very subtle matte highlight. I never really put shimmery colours on my brow. Just always looks a bit kind of hectic on me. So I'm just using the Naked Basics palette, and I'm using the shade Lockout, which is a slightly darker, warmer brown, and I'm just popping it in the outside corner, building up a little bit of depth. I really have to control myself here, because I can tell I could sit here for 20 minutes playing with this eyeshadow look, and I'm just not sure that the people of Kirsten Bosch on a Saturday afternoon need to see Julia in high glam mode. This is a Sigma E25, by the way, which is my favourite blending brush, but you can use a MAC 217. Unfortunately, the company that used to import these to South Africa is no longer in operation, so that's a bit sad. Also going to take that colour on a little short shader brush, but you can use a pencil brush, just on the outside corner of the lower lash line. I'm just going to soften it with my finger a little. I was going to go into the shade YDK, which is this one in the Naked 2 palette. It's my favourite colour in the palette, I love it, but I feel that that's more of an evening look. So actually, I'm quite liking how it's looking now. It's currently all matte, just basically a blended kind of outer corner, classic kind of three-dimensional eye look. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take Booty Call, which is this sort of champagne shade. It's kind of a satin finish, so it's not too sparkly, and I'm going to just use that on the inner portion of the lid. And it's very subtle, but it just brightens up the whole look, but without going, you know, balls to the wall. I'm using the brush that comes in the palette, just the flat side, and then just bringing it down into the tear duct there. Okay, I'm just going to put a little bit of eyeliner on. This is the LA Girl Glide Gel Liner, and this is the shade Deep Bronze. I can't actually do this on camera because I need to be up in the face of my mirror, so just give me a second. Okay, so I've just popped that on, and then I just used the same little short shader brush from earlier to soften it slightly before it set, but now it has set, so that's not going anywhere. Before I move on with mascara and lip, I'm just going to set everything with my Urban Decay setting spray. That's basically just because sometimes when I use the setting spray and I put mascara on, it can make the mascara like blob onto my eyelids. And I just dry it with this really professional Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer sample cardboard. This is just my Max Factor False Lash Effect mascara. It's in like some summer packaging. So it looks like that, but normally it's a black tube. Best mascara in the whole damn world. I don't know about you guys, but one thing I am incapable of doing with all the years of practice of putting on mascara is doing it without getting any on my eyelid. Literally impossible. Can't do it. And then on the lower lashes, I'm going to use the Boots No. 7 Stay Perfect Long Lasting Volume Mascara. Not available in South Africa, just pretend that it's MAC Giga Black Lash. I know that it's high maintenance, by the way, to have two mascaras for top and bottom, but if I try to use that big fat brush on my bottom lashes, can you imagine what would happen? I can't even do it on my top lashes without getting it everywhere. So it is essential for me to have a smaller brush. And in case you're wondering why I haven't set my concealer with powder, it's because the powder's over there and I really can't bother to get up and go and get it. Okay, and then for the lip, something very simple. This is MAC Patisserie. And yes, all my lipsticks have a square top. I don't know how. I don't do it on purpose. I have no idea why. Oh, there's nothing like the scent of a MAC lipstick. Yum. I haven't worn that in ages. It looks so nice. Such a nice, easy shade to wear. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you very much for watching, hanging out with me. Please let us know if you have any requests for videos. It's always nice to mix things up a bit and not do the same old thing over and over again. So if you have any interesting ideas, give us a shout. We'll see what we can do. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.